Winston Churchill struggled through school and he failed 6th grade. Abe Lincoln was defeated many times before he was elected for the public office. Henry Ford failed 5 times before he was completely broke. So what's the point? They failed many times. Still, they were successful. They were very successful. Persistence, they kept on trying. I was born and brought up in India. I was the firstborn for my parents. When I was 5, my parents enrolled me in English medium school. As soon as I finished my 1st grade, I don't know the reason, but they pulled me out of that school and put me in a Hindi medium school. So I start again learning Hindi alphabets and Hindi numerals. Not only that, I was made to skip 2nd and 3rd grade. So I jumped from 1st grade to 4th grade. Here I was trying to learn the alphabets and numbers in Hindi, whereas the other students in the class were doing 4th grade math. Probably my parents were experimenting with me because I was the firstborn. Since I lost the foundation for the math, I struggled through math throughout my schooling. In my 8th grade midterm, I received a perfect 0. My dad came to my school and he thought maybe there was some mistake in grading my papers, so he requested to see, but no mistake to be found. When I went home, I didn't get any sympathy. On the other hand, I was labeled that she is not bright in studies. Also, I heard many times my family members saying that, oh, she is a girl, she doesn't need education. It's okay if I fail or something. In those days when I was in my schooling, the system was if any student fails in one subject, they had to repeat the whole grade again. To my credit, I didn't have to repeat ever any grade. I graduated my 12th grade at the age of 16. At 17, I got married. I moved into a joint family with my husband's parents and siblings. During my spare time, I used to take the doll making classes or cooking classes. And soon I became a mother of a baby boy. So my life was busy, but I felt some kind of a void. I enrolled myself in a graduate school and received master's in geography. You know, during my 8th grade, I had a choice. I could have taken a math and science line, or I could have taken a liberal arts. Since I was not good in math anyway, I chose to go for liberal arts. Here now, I received my 2nd master's. Still, I didn't have to touch mathematics, which I left in the 8th grade. In my family, they used to call me not good in math. My sibling introduced me to his new bride. She can't do math. That was very humiliating. And so I wondered why I can't do math. What's wrong with me? I challenged myself. I enrolled myself at the very, very basic math and started learning. Continued to take courses. I had 2 kids and a husband and a job to take care. I was persistent. Next thing was I was certified to teach high school in Kansas in mathematics. As an educator, I could understand the struggle my students were having in learning math. I used to tell them my story. I said, oh, you can do it, I did it. But all of us, we know that telling stories wouldn't help people learn math. So after many trials and errors, I started doing small projects in the classroom. For example, they had to build bird houses in the class. I wore the hats of facilitator and a storekeeper. The students were given a certain amount of money, and they had to purchase all their materials from me, the storekeeper. In the process, they learned making blueprints, work collaboratively, balance budget, write checks, write reports, and do the presentations. Was it exciting? Yes. Did they learn math? Of course. I started seeing the interest level in learning math increased. That was just an example. I like challenges. So I left this cushy job and I challenged myself to go to a juvenile halfway house. And first impression was shocking to me. 8-foot fencing all around, all the doors were electronically locked all the time. I have never seen a thing like that. The students were monitored all the 24 hours and they were told what to do every minute. For every 5 students, one adult used to escort them to my class to control them for their misbehavior. And here I was trying to teach to them. They were doing online courses, and they didn't have any electives like art or music or anything. So, all the time, they needed to be restrained because they were so rough behavior. The first semester was tough. When I tried to show any kindness to them, they didn't understand because they never experienced one. When I said, please sit down, they said, shut up. So I thought over, and I started showing maybe alternative way. Started knitting and crocheting class, teaching them. I was told that those can be used as weapons, the needles, because I had to hide the staplers, pencil sharpeners, and all other small objects because the students throw on each other, and there was not much interest in the beginning, but slowly students, they came around and said, yeah, I want to learn. And to my pride and to their pride, they made beanies and baby blankets. This was the first time the students were successful in finishing a project. It was a lifelong learning for them. They felt pride that they could do something worthwhile, which they never did before. And they started trusting me. Slowly, I steered that trust towards learning and finishing their coursework. I'm immensely gratified to tell you that 3 of those students, they earned their high school diploma, and 2 of them earned few credits toward their graduation. That's a huge story because they have been moved from facility to facility all through their life. So this was something concrete they have done. I am afraid of heights. I can't look down from the 3rd floor down. So I challenged myself. I said, what's the problem? Just like my learning math, what is my issue? So I went in my 60s, you can calculate my age, to paragliding. I did scuba diving in Indian Ocean and hiked 14ers in Colorado. Friends, fear is a very strong emotion. The more you fear, it will push you back. So when you are afraid of something, try to do that more and more so that your fear will get away from you. So that's what I did. And 2 years ago, I opted out to go as a Peace Corps response volunteer to Liberia. Liberia was just coming out of the 14 years of civil war and Ebola. So all their schools were completely closed all this time. So when my assignment was to train teachers, the Liberian way of schooling was the traditional way, like not much of creativity, memorization, and not much of critical thinking either. And the students were not much of motivated to learn any math or any subject because gender inequality or not much of motivation from the family and friends and the age-old myth that math is hard. And so my students, when they learned that I was going to train them in this fun and activity-based teaching of math, they were excited because they were waiting to learn something to motivate their students to learn math. I have inspired a whole generation of Liberian teachers to teach. Not only that, I built institutional capacity and earned their long-lasting friendship. Those students are still in correspondence with me. In 2005, again I challenged myself, went to India, and this time I volunteered in an all-girls school. The specialty of this school is 99% of those students came from very low socioeconomic class. Those girls were the first-time schoolgoers in their families. This particular one was very close to my heart because when I was growing up, how I was labeled and discouraged from going for education. So I was very motivated to train these teachers and these students. When I completed my workshop, they were very gratified and they were very happy. Well, these are few of my success stories. In 2017 and 18, I received the prestigious Fulbright Distinguished Teaching Award to go again to India and train teachers in various cities in India. And when I finished the workshop in this creative method of teaching, I felt so happy that now all those teachers in turn will go back in the communities and train our future leaders. So, ladies and gentlemen, the message is, I, who had a very messy childhood education, who was labeled and was discouraged from studying and was known as not good in math, became a math instructor and a math teacher training at home and abroad. And my long cherished desire to become a Fulbright scholar, I achieved these things by constantly trying and trying. When I failed, I attempted again. Even for the Fulbright scholar, I did not get on the first attempt. I kept on trying. So in our lives, we do get many, many obstacles and hurdles. But the point is, keep on trying and just don't give up. Thank you so much.